Welcome to Subramani. One question which many people ask, especially younger people, is how do we start talking about our parents making a will? So, if you are in your 30s and your parents are in their 60s, the question is how do you approach the topic and say, Dad, Mom, please make a will? In India, financial wisdom only flows from top to bottom. Kids cannot ask their parents, how are you, how much money do you have, how are you managing, do you need help? These questions are considered taboo. But if the parents want and they ask for money, you are supposed to give. That's perfectly all right. That is how it should be. My father never told me not. My father never asked me why you want the money. When I said I want money, he said take it from my purse. I never had to even say how much I am taking, why I am taking. So I've been brought up like that. I've been very lucky, and I think I will do the same thing with my daughter. But every family is not so open with money. And forget for a minute, just forget money, but inheritance. How do you start talking to your parents? So there are various things you can use. First is one thing which I have seen work very well is to say, my company is organizing a will writing session today. There is a guy called Subra who is coming, and there is a lawyer who is coming. Subra is going to talk about the processes which are required, but the lawyer will help us in writing the will. These are all the details which I have given to them, and they will print it out and notarize it and give it to us. Our HR is doing this activity. This is a fantastic way to push your parents, because a parent will say, "Arey, why are you making your will? I have not made my will." So you can say, you can also come along. It's meant for me and for the family, so you can also come along and make the will, because it will make the processes simpler. It's not as though, so your parents are bound to ask, why should I make a will? You should make a will simply because you have real estate. If you don't have real estate, you don't need a will, right? And please spend some money and making a will. Don't just go to Google, cut paste and write it by hand and keep it at home. Just don't do this. It doesn't work that way. Better to get it done properly, get it notarized, and keep a copy properly, right? So do that. So that can be one way of approaching. Second, you can talk about some COVID deaths, because many COVID deaths, husband and wife have died together and leaving minor children. This is so much of a hassle. Kids don't even know what is kept where in the kitchen. Forget how will they know about the assets. So therefore you say, look, this happened. You remember in that guy's house, that Mehta's house, Patel's house, Subramaniam's house, whatever. These kind of things happened. Therefore, we are making a will, right? So that can be another reason why, because of these deaths, I got. Also, when you're talking to your parents about your will, about their will, your will, etc., you can also get a chance to talk about their finances, saying, look, I've got some extra money, and instead of giving you the money, instead of giving you regularly, I would put 10 lakhs as deposits in your name. This works very well because there's no reverse clubbing provision. So if you have, instead of giving your parents, let's say you're giving your parents 1 lakh per year, instead of giving them 1 lakh per year, it is better to put, say, 12 lakhs or something as a fixed deposit in their name, senior citizen account or something, which will earn 7%. So that money does not have to come to you. It can go to them directly. And you will save on tax. So when you talk about all these things, you can say, Arey, you're running out of cash, but you have this real estate. So do you want to sell the real estate, move to a different location, move in with me, right? You get a chance to talk about all this. That is the time when you say, okay, if you're not selling the real estate, have you made sure that the nomination is right, that the spellings are right, etc. So you get a chance to talk about what happens if I die before you, or in case who is going to manage. So who should manage? Should it be your daughter-in-law? Should it be your son-in-law? Children with parents with multiple children, with more than one child, have a choice of doing all that. Parents without children will have to make sure that the lawyer or CA or somebody is appointed as an executor, so that the husband, after the husband's death, there is the wife who's for whom the assets have to be managed. If she is not capable and there are no children, nephews, nieces, siblings, anybody to take care of it, it's necessary that a lawyer or a CA or somebody takes care of it. So talk about these what if situations, that if both of you die, then what happens? If I die before you die, what happens, right? So, and then say, I'm going to do this anyway for myself. At the time, I'll do it for you also. Do all this unless you are in a situation where you are not on speaking terms with them and you don't care what happens to the assets and all that. A lot of people come to me after the event and say, oh, these shares were lying, bunch of shares. it could be a mess. You may not have collected dividends, so it may have gone to IPF, and getting it out of IPF is another nightmare. I could do a full episode on how difficult it is to get your own shares back from the government of India, which is supposed to be lying there for your own benefit. Sorry, I'm digressing. It's just my anger coming out. Thank you.